Hello and welcome to the first in a series of videos surrounding striking. So what I'm going to be talking about in these videos is I'm going to be talking about the things that you want to be thinking about whilst you're maybe doing some shadow boxing or just generally practicing your striking at home so that you get better at being an attacker when we're doing some Jitsu attacking, but also just thinking about how we're moving our body and what things are we actually trying to engage when we are doing this aspect of our art. So what we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about some simple strikes, and we're going to be talking about the parts of the body that we want to be moving when we're doing that. So again, if you're doing this is simple to do just by yourself. You just have to use a little bit of imagination. However, I'm fortunate enough to have a partner that will make this a little bit easier to show to you what you're trying to imagine. So essentially there are two targets, okay, that we are thinking about. The first is actually the head, and the second is this area. So when you're building that imagination in your shadow boxing, okay, we've got those two sort of areas that we are looking at going for. So what we're thinking about is building up our stance. So thinking to the footwork basics exercise that I was talking about, thinking about the corners of the square, getting our hands up and elbows in. What we're then going to be doing, okay, is a set of 3 strikes. Okay, we're going to be doing a jab, then we're going to be doing a cross, then we're going to be doing an uppercut. And I'm going to talk through each strike and thinking about some of the things you want to be thinking about when doing that strike. So the first one, okay, we're going to do is the jab. So this is going to be with the hand that is above the leading foot. So I'm going to start with the left. So what we're doing is we're jabbing across with our hand. So we're moving from the elbow, not from the shoulder. We're coming across, okay, that is our jab. Now what we're also thinking about trying to engage is this hip as well. So when we do it, we're raising and engaging our whole body, okay, rather than just throwing out an arm. Okay, we're here, hands up, crossing. Now notice that my other hand doesn't drop at any point. I'm keeping it up nice and high. So that is the jab. Okay, there. Little bit of engagement from the hips, little bit of engagement from the leg, but moving from that elbow. The second is just going to be the cross. Okay, now on the cross there's a couple of things to think about. First off, what I'm doing with my arm is I'm raising it up by my ear. So I'm covering myself, okay, from the other side. So this hand's up, okay, but this arm, if you can see, is covering the other side of my body. Now looking at it from the other side, you'll also notice that my hip is completely engaging. So when I'm here, I'm turning, and you can see how much my hip has engaged into this this punch. Okay, rather than it just staying here and doing this, my whole body is moving and engaging. Okay. There, you'll notice that my arm is shielding the side of my head. So from where you're looking, you shouldn't really be able to see the side of my face. Okay. The final one is the uppercut. Okay, so with the uppercut, again, my feet are in the same position. What I'm aiming for is I'm aiming for that middle chest area. This is the shape that I'm after. Okay, again, when I'm doing an uppercut, I'm engaging the whole of my body. I'm not just driving it up here. Okay, what I'm doing is I'm turning my body. Okay, rotating my whole body. This elbow wants to stay close as it can to my hip. Okay, rather than it being away from my body, it's close to the body there. Okay, one of the things I like to talk about with striking is if you've got a belt, this is actually quite good to do striking practice just wearing a belt. You don't have to get all geared up, but the reason is you can think about if your belt is moving lots, then it means that you're moving your body in the correct way. If I'm here doing these strikes and my belt is not moving, I'm not doing them very well. If I'm here and my belt is moving, for each of those techniques, then I'm doing it correctly, or I'm at least doing it with more movement and the correct kind of movement that I should be. So how can we build a drill from this? Well, it's nice and simple. A little bit of repetition into this. So all you're going to do is you're just going to go jab, cross, uppercut. Jab, cross, uppercut. So jab, cross, uppercut. Jab, cross, uppercut. And you can just practice this. And again, if you don't have the partner and the partner's not there, you just have to imagine that there is that person there. But I'm rather than just punching the air, like a shadow boxing sort of exercise, I'm actually thinking about what I'm doing when I'm doing it. So I'm here, I'm engaging my body. Is my belt moving enough? Okay, and then once you've done it a few times on the right, you can then swap over and do it with the left hand. So just make sure you swap over your stance and repeat the same drill. Okay, so what we'll look at in this series of videos is how can we take this exercise and just make it more of a challenge. But again, this is still quite a good cardio workout, but I'm thinking about each of these different aspects as I'm trying to apply it and what I'm doing. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I will catch you in the next video.